Oh, it's so sour. I haven't even bitten into it. Hey cuties, it is time once again to open a Scrawlrbox. I can't wait to see what's in here and to make whatever is in the box. I just came back from vacation, so I'm feeling, I want to say refreshed, but also I feel like vacations also have a bit of recovery time, so, I'm a bit sleepy. Getting used to, being back at work and being home and everything. Also, your girl got engaged, so that's awesome. Thank you in advance for any nice comments. So yeah, let's jump right into this. Alright, let's see what's in this box. Nice pull tab. Let's see. I see green. Liquid acrylic colors. I think it's candy. Chupa Chups Center Shock. Splashing cola flavored. Liquid filled sour chewing gum contains soya. Soya. I wonder what soya is. I'm not a big cola person. I like root beer and some sodas, but cola is not my favorite. But you know what? I'll chew on this anyway. I'll do it after we look at the contents. Right, take out our ripped open envelope. Oh no. Oh my. Okay, what do we have here? Our poor unfortunate folded Scrawlrbox. USPS is so cruel. Alright. Unleash the rest of these materials and then flip the menu. So of course we have our sticker that matches the Scrawlrbox, and I assume the print. Is there a print? Oh, it doesn't match the print. Huh, that's different. Okay. This is fun though. Abstract is cool. I like the colors. I think it's a flower. Or at least that's what I see. Let me read about the artist. The artist is Christina Kwan. Christina Kwan is an Atlanta-based artist known for her abstract and floral works on paper, as well as large-scale murals. She was born and raised in Florida and moved to Atlanta after graduating from the University of Florida with a BFA in drawing. A decade and many different career paths later, the work she creates now is an ongoing exploration of her Asian American identity and the internal struggle of feeling incomplete or existing in between, having to reserve space for a variety of imposed cultural influences. Calligraphic brushstrokes obliquely refer to her East Asian heritage, acting as a yearning for permanence and a search for ancestral ties. The movement in her compositions hold a delicate tension, somewhere in between action and rest, and embodying the myriad of dualities we hold within. Her art is deep, basically. We exist in between identities, in between states, both physical and unseen, blooming, falling apart, and starting the cycle over again. The work I create is a study in conscious and unconscious impulses and how they reflect a state of identity that is fluid and impossible to hold onto. I mainly use acrylic ink, pouring, mixing, washing, as I alternate between stages of steady mediation and frenetic mark making. In the past, I used flowers as a starting point to later abstract into an exquisitely tense oblivion. Now I start with the oblivion and see what forms reveal themselves from within. There is an East Asian heritage that permeates my work through the calligraphic strokes and references to natural landscapes. This influence was never a conscious decision. On the contrary, I was raised to prioritize my Western-born identity as a pathway to success and financial stability, the American dream. I find myself being ever more drawn to the aesthetic sensibilities of my ancestors, even though their legacies remain a mystery to me. My mark holds the energy of their lineage and the unnerving feeling that a filial connection is possibly forever lost. Each piece is a part of the psychological journey, an effort to map out a sense of self that is fully realized. Well, it's cool. She's, exploring her heritage and ancestry and how she feels about all of it through art. That's awesome. I think art is a very powerful tool for exploring yourself and your mental health and your feelings and all that stuff. I do think there's a really heavy... burden's not the right word, but there's this pressure for art to carry a lot of meaning and for it to be something deeper than, oh, I think this is pretty. And honestly, I think both, and even a mix of the two, somewhere in between, is all completely valid and okay. I don't think we should judge anyone's work based on whether it has a deep meaning. I also think unless someone is forthcoming with the fact that their paintings carry a lot of personal meaning, we shouldn't pry and push for a meaning that might not necessarily be there, or maybe one that doesn't fit your narrative. Because it could be either that's what they wanted to do, it was an experiment and they liked how it came out, or that the meaning is very personal and they don't want to discuss it with strangers or even not quite strangers online or in person. Anyway, small rant aside, I actually have wanted to try these liquid acrylic colors, not necessarily this brand, but just liquid acrylics or acrylic inks or anything like that for quite a while, so I'm pretty excited. We also got a Major Brushes brush number 6. It is a tapered round brush. Our sticker. We got our Scrawlrbox, some A5 acrylic paper. 8 sheets. Oh, 8 sheets. This one's thick. Ooh, it is. And it has a bit of texture to it. Try to form this back into shape because the mail used it. Goodness. And we've got some fine liner graphics pens, 4 of them, in 2mm, 0.2mm, 0.4, 0.8, and a brush. Marabou fine liner graphics. Okay. Okay, open these up. Put this here. And put this here too. Yep, fine liner graphics pens, and then our menu. Our prompt is in bloom, so it looks like the aim is to do something floral, probably. This month's box is in bloom, taking a botanical influence from our featured artist. We encourage you to experiment with the opacity of the inks and how they layer over one and another. See how they form entwining elements in your work and play with mark making to create undefined shapes and organic forms. And it talks about the inks, the brush, the fine liners, and the paper. Let me skim through and see if there's anything worth letting you know about. Okay, so these inks are water-based, which is great because that means you can mix them with water, and it says they're also fine enough to put in airbrushes and to not clog like watercolor pens and things like that. They have a high degree of light fastness and are waterproof and permanent. I think we've all seen these Marabou pens. The brush is a good brush. This paper was made specifically for the box. Let's look through the Scrawlrbox really quick. This is all our supplies aesthetically laid out. Okay, so they do include this white for changing the hue. Oh, I thought we had a blue, but wait, it's actually like an emerald green. Okay, so we don't have the blue. We have yellow, red, and green, and our white. Here's our featured artist. Oh, her work is cool. Okay, maybe I do like this, but I'm not a big fan of yellow, so I think that's why I initially was not excited about it. But I like her stuff. It's lovely. She looks young. You can find her online at christina.klon.art or on Facebook, christina.klon.art. Okay, so mix some colors. Okay, shake the bottles. You can apply it directly to the paper, or do splats and splatters. You can do wet on wet or wet on dry. You can use the other end of the paintbrush as a dotting tool. Masking tape and cutouts. I assume masking fluid as well could be useful. Then you can vary your line work and use the brush as well to get some interest. Wow. These are the works from the May Scrawlrbox. I believe this is the one that came with the watercolor booklet where I drew Distraught, I think? I can't remember the name. But the watercolor painting of the face, the girl with the face. If you know, you know. There are some very creative people. I'll have to look some of these folks up and give them a follow. So just talking about the inks a bit. Alright, I think I've got the general idea, so we're going to set this aside and get our swatch on this paper. I'm going to start with our pens. And I'll go in order of the size. fairly fine. This is the thickest one, so let's see. I like how round the nib is. I don't know how well you can see it, but it doesn't look like a huge difference from the 0.4, but it feels like one. Good line weight variety. Always good. Alright, now to crack these open. For the swatch, I'm just going to go straight in with the colors, but I am going to take out a palette and some water, so that we can mix colors if we want to, and so we can water things down. Okay, so they're not too hard to open. The little tip is cut already, and they're little squeezy bottles. This is kind of a pinky red. There we go. Fairly dark yellow, but it looks like you can get a lighter tone too. Kind of like how food coloring looks like dark orange, almost red in the bottle, like yellow food coloring does. It looks like you can almost just write with these because of this small little tip, so I'm going to try that as well. Not sure if that's even visible on camera, but I wanted to give it a shot. Okay, so first I want to go in with the dry brush on the ink that's on the paper. It's probably mostly dry already, but I just want to see. Oh. There's a little bit of ghosting, but I mean, this isn't a bad option if that's what you want to do. Let me add some water. Ooh. Oh, these work nicely on a brush too. Okay, okay. Okay, that's not bad. So, fairly dry brush. Okay, okay, got it. Wet brush. Same thing. And something I want to do is they were talking about playing with the transparency and how these layer. So I'm going to take a bit of this yellow, and this pink is mostly dry, so oof. Ooh. That's the transparency is fun. And you can see the difference in the color. But it's not opaque, so it just changes the color. If I'm making sense. I think it's pretty. Let me actually... I'm gonna pull a Casey Golden and do this. And we'll move on to the green while that dries. I'm a silly goose. I never put green here. It is a nice green. It's almost dry. Ooh, okay. The white, the paint doesn't stick to it as well as it does the paper. So you can kind of get some cool texture underneath if you're fast enough, or if it's, maybe if it's just thin enough. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to play with that, that's fine. I think that's dry enough. So let's take the green. Make almost a circle. Yes. While the green dries, I'm going to try the candy. So it's white and sticky. Oh, they're sour. Oh. I thought they just meant the middle. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so sour. I haven't even bitten into it. It might be all throughout it too. As opposed to sour just being on the outside, and you can like lick it off and it's sweet on the inside. I'm scared to bite into it. Like, what if it's sour all the way through? Okay. I didn't feel a liquid center, like it says, and it wasn't fizzy or anything. Sour cola is weird. But once you get past the initial, like, outside citric acid, sour, whatever it is, it doesn't taste like a lot. So, not bad. Okay, the green is dry enough, I think. Let's go in with the red-pink color. Okay, so this did do what I was hoping it would. Just give us kind of a blue-purple color. One more thing I want to do on the swatch page is just strip some of this white on there and see if that does anything. Oh gosh, oops. And we're gonna add some white up here too. I wonder if this is going to give it some opacity or just change the color. This is doing some weird stuff. I guess because the red was still pretty wet. It's a cute pink. Let's see. Oh yeah, it makes it opaque. Huh. Good to know. Ooh, that's fun. And green. Makes it this like mint color, kind of like mint chocolate chip ice cream. I like the pastel vibes. It's nice. I have just a couple more little experiments I want to do before we move on to actually making something. So this looked really weird. So what I'm going to do is make some drops of white and then drop the colors on top and see what happens. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to add some second colors over here to our palette. Oh gosh, that might have been too much. These squeezy bottles are sensitive. Okay, so let's see what this did. Also, this is taking longer to dry. I think the white might take a bit longer. It's laid on pretty thick too. Okay, let's see. Ooh, swirly weirdness. So if you want some fun textures, that could be something to look at too. Good to know, good to know. It's kind of forcing the ink out of the brush. Get out there. It does seem to be staining it a bit. That's okay. Pink brush is cute. Alright, let me think about what I want to draw with this. And take off this paper so it can dry in peace to the side. So our prompt is in bloom, right? So I think what I want to do is paint out some abstract flowers and then go in with our liners and give them some definition, but still keep it pretty like loose. Let me show you what I mean. Take our thick boy liner, like say none of these really are floral forms, but let's pretend this is. So instead of like strictly outlining it, like let's do here. Like I don't necessarily want to do like this. Instead, I'll do something like, sorry, it's hard to get started. Something like that, and this might have like not exactly this, but you get where I'm going. Yeah, something along those lines. Well, I am going to pull up a reference of just like abstract flowers, just so I'm not too off. Because now I'm nervous. Yeah, there are a lot of ways to go about it. I'm going to just kind of go with the flow and try my best. So let's see what we can do. I might end up doing a couple of pieces. In fact, because this paper is kind of warped from shipping, I'm going to take it off and tape it down. And this is a no sketch painting. No sketch. Let me just think about. I think I want to saturate the paper so that the inks kind of do what they want. Which is not something I normally do, because I usually have a hard time when the paper's saturated, but I really want to just like let it go and trust the process right now. So let's do it. I'm gonna dry it off just a little bit. All the hair that's sticking off. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do it. Do it, do it, do it. I'm gonna start with orange. Maybe a little water. A bit more yellow. Oh, I took the yellow with the white in it. Alright, well. It's not a very pretty color, is it? I can fix it. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Then I'll take this like bluey purple color that is very dark. I do quite like the color though. I don't quite know how I feel about this, but I think I'll let it dry and then we can do the ink work. While it dries, I want to do some experimental stuff. So let's set this to the side. Now this is dry, especially since we went after it with the heat gun as well. You can see the little splatters. So my idea here is that I take a big chunky fine liner and say wah, wah, wah. This flower. That looks okay. I've got to roll with the imperfections. They're part of it. They're part of it. It's just so hard. Smaller line art. Go back and do the same. And, freeze up the leaves. Accept the messiness as part of the process as much as I can. Okay, that's fun. Yeah. I got this. It's okay. It's alright. This one. That's the part I'm missing. I wanted to go back to the yellow and just it's something. I think we can get looser. So let's come back here. There are a couple of these in particular that I really like. So I like how this came out. At first I wasn't sure about the swirly, but I actually like it. And I like this, so I think if we can focus on more ones like this and kind of redo this in a way I prefer, I think we can have some fun. So, I'm going to do this again. I'm gonna definitely let the kind of fluffy plants dry longer, because the green bleeding into it was a bit sad. But okay. Do another pink rose. All these cat hairs. I think I just have to leave them and then pick them out later if I can. Anyway. And then we'll do our kind of fluffy plants. The lighter pink. Here this time. Kind of like crepe marble. Liner initially, because I definitely think going in with the heavy liner first was a mistake. Yeah. Okay. Cute. here. Okay, yeah, I do like this better. I particularly like this. It's like dandelion. It's cute. I want to add just some speckles carefully. Somewhat carefully, I'll say. Do yellow as well. There it goes. And then some of this like purple. Nothing too heavy-handed. Just some additional texture on the paper. Yeah, I like how this came out. I can read it. Thank you so much for watching. These acrylic inks were a lot of fun. I had a good time with the Scrawlrbox. I ended up making two very similar paintings, but you know, practice is practice. So here's the first one. Cute, not bad. But I definitely prefer the second one, if I do say so myself. And then of course we can't forget our secret message. It's very important for you to know that you're a cutie. So thank you again so much for watching. If you want to see me post elsewhere or watch me live or anything like that, check out the link tree down in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And most importantly of all, don't forget to stay charming. Goodbye!